What do an angry man, a young girl, and a golden box have to do with each other? Stay tuned to the end of the video. The answer may surprise you. Hey everybody, Brian here with Way Follower Fellowship, and today I want to kind of talk about a parable I read about just a couple of days ago, and it's a little bit of a heart tugger if you have kids. So, it may get you in the feels a little bit, maybe not, I don't know, but we'll give it a go anyway. Okay. So we'll call this one, It's Not Empty. And so a father was very upset with his daughter around Christmas time. And that money was tight. He didn't make a whole lot of money. And he's trying to make ends meet, just stretching every dollar that he can. And he had some very special golden wrapping paper that he was saving. Well, his daughter was able to get a hold of that wrapping paper and found a box and wrapped the box like a present. And she did a very good job. She took her time and was very patient with it. The corners were perfect. You couldn't see the tape. The bow that she made out of the leftover paper was, like a professional. She was very, very pleased with how she wrapped this box. And when the father came in to her room and saw that she had used up all of the golden wrapping paper that he had planned on saving, he got upset. And so he began to chastise her and began to, explain to her that money doesn't grow on trees, and, how she stole the wrapping paper from his room, and, theft is wrong, and, really just made her feel bad. And then when he asked her, what did you wrap? Like, I see the box, but what is it? She goes, well, Daddy, it's your Christmas present. Feeling bad, the father, I'm sorry, kiddo. I didn't realize. I shouldn't have gone off on you like that. I shouldn't have yelled at you. I'm sorry. And the daughter lovingly looks up at her dad and says, Daddy, it's okay. I understand. You didn't know. So Christmas Eve comes around, and she takes the present that she's wrapped and puts it underneath the tree, and is super excited and giddy, and just looking so forward to watching her dad open up the present on Christmas morning. And she gives her dad a big hug and a kiss as she goes off to sleep, and says, I love you, Daddy. And he looks at her and says, I love you too, kiddo. And then he walks out, still feeling a little bit bad about kind of getting onto her case, a few days prior for using up all the golden wrapping paper when she was just trying to do something nice for him. So he's starting to get a little excited himself. Well, what could possibly be in the box that she would take so much time and so much effort to wrap? So he went to bed just, amazed at, what a beautiful person his daughter is turning out to be. Well, Christmas morning comes around, and daughter comes running into Dad's room and jumping up and down. It's Christmas, let's go. I want you to open my present first. And Dad, wiping the sleep out of his eyes, blinking a few times, smiles at her and says, okay, let's go. And so she takes his hand And in their pajamas, they're running down the stairs and they get in front of the Christmas tree. And Dad sits down on the couch, hasn't even had his coffee yet because she's so excited. She's not even willing to wait to let him even have his coffee. She runs over, grabs the box, and skips across the living room back to him and puts it on his lap. Now the father realizes now that as she puts the box on his lap, that it's oddly very light. It almost feels like there's nothing inside. So he's thinking maybe she drew something, or maybe she made something that I just can't. It's just so light I can't feel it. And so he starts to carefully open the box. Some of the paper tears and all of that, and she's so excited and jumping up and down. And when he opens up the box, there's nothing inside. He doesn't see anything inside the box. Starting to get angry again because, again, she's wasted paper, and it feels like to him that she's being dishonest with him, that she said this was supposed to be a present for him. He starts to ridicule her again right there in the living room. What is this? There's nothing in the box. You wasted all this expensive golden wrapping paper, and I have hardly any money. I'm just trying to make things, pay the bills at this point, and you waste something on an empty box. And just lays into her about wasting money and being budget minded, and things that a 6-year-old probably isn't going to think too much about, but he's just livid and he's upset and he's just laying into her. And when he finally stops, his daughter, in tears, just pouring tears, she looks up at him and goes, "But Daddy, that's a box full of kisses. I blew a bunch of kisses into the box for you, and I wrapped it and cut and sealed it up so that anytime you feel sad or alone, you can just reach in and take one of my kisses and know that I love you." His heart is shattered. He feels like such a heel. He is so sorry, and he falls to his knees, grabs his little girl, and they're both crying now, and he's apologizing, tears flowing down his face. "I'm so sorry, baby girl. I shouldn't have reacted that way. I overreacted, and I love you so much. Thank you. This is the best gift anybody has ever given me. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough." And daughter lovingly looks at her father and says, "Daddy, it's okay. I forgive you. You didn't know. But I just want you to know that you're always loved, no matter what happens, no matter where you go. I will always love you." And he says, "I love you too, kiddo, and that will never change, ever. And I'm sorry for the way I've acted the last few days." So her father takes the box and goes and puts it on the counter, and they go about the rest of their Christmas day, and lots of happiness and joy and laughter and candy canes and cocoa, and everything seems to be going pretty well. But then a few days later, a car accident that the father and the daughter were involved in ended up taking his daughter's life, and he survived. And of course, heartbroken, he's just beside himself. He goes, when he gets home and after he comes out of the hospital, when he gets home, he takes that golden box that's still sitting on the counter, and he takes it and puts it on his nightstand. And every time that he felt sad, or he missed her, or he was angry about life, or angry even with God, he would open up that box and he would reach in and he would take another kiss, and his heart would be at least somewhat helped in that moment, knowing that his daughter's love is unconditional. And he kept that box by his bed for the rest of his life and used it every time that he felt sad or angry or upset or alone. So, like I said, a little bit of a touching parable there, but the thing to think about is we've all We've all been given that box from our, it could be from parents, could be from friends, it could be from our children, but we've all been given that box. And even if you don't have friends, even if you don't have parents, or you don't have children, you don't have anybody, any person that you can point to that has given you that, you still have that box. God gave you that box. We all have multiple boxes, but God, if you only have one box, it's the box from God. And he's put his unconditional, he's poured his love and his desire to know you and be close to you and comfort you and share life with you in that box. And all you have to do whenever you feel alone, whenever you feel sad or angry, you feel disconnected with the world or numb, you can open that box and you can take out a little bit of love from God and just know that it's there and that it's not going anywhere. And he will always be there, no matter what. And he proved it. He proved it when he came down as Jesus. The Son came down and lived the life we couldn't live and died the death we should have died so we could have the love that we don't deserve. And the reward that we don't deserve. So it's there. Just got to open that box. And that box can be opened in many different ways. One way can be, just reaching out. Just start reading. This is a love story. As much as it's anything else. As much as it's anything else. This is a love letter to all of us. And it's beautiful. And there's more love in the pages of the Bible than you can find anywhere else on earth. And it's there just for you. It's there for you, for the taking, if you want it. So I hope you do. And if you already do, I hope you don't forget that love letter is there for you. If you're having a hard time or a difficult time, or you're feeling alone or disconnected, just open the box. I love you. Go with Christ.